Well, this is really exciting, and I can tell you who is just ecstatic to be here. My brother-in-law, Nolan Mills, in studio. And joining us on the MPW Digital TV Celebrity Hotline here at the Tony Tone Show, it is one of the greatest children's music players, singer, songwriter, actor, Fred Penner. From Fred Penner's Place. Let's say hello. Hello, Fred. How are you doing, sir?
Hello, Tony. I'm very well. Thank you.
Fred, it's not that often that I get to talk to someone who is you're in Canada right now, right?
Correct. I'm in Toronto, Canada, Toronto, Ontario. We're just in the midst of mixing my latest CD. We've been hard at recording all summer long, and now we're at the final stages of that.
Wow, that's great. So,
yeah.
So Fred, I can't play a lick of any kind of instruments, and I shouldn't sing, but I do karaoke. So I don't know, I don't know the process. But for you, obviously, this album was probably planned. And is it nice with the technology in 2016 that the process doesn't have to take as long as it did?
Well, I don't know if the process really changes a whole lot. It makes it easier. I mean, the recording process is the same. Mm-hmm. You still have to get your act together, get your arrangements together, make sure that your lyrics and the music and the melody, all of what the song entails. That's always the same. The easier part is when you need to come to editing something. Mm-hmm. That's where the digital world has made it so much easier, because you just press a couple of buttons and move a couple of cursors over, and suddenly you're exactly where you want to be. In the olden days, in the analog days, when we did the first record, The Cat Came Back in the late 70s, you're using huge rolls of tape, and if you wanted to sort of cut something, then you get out the little rack and a razor blade, and you're trying to chop out pieces of tape exactly at the right point. It was just much more complicated.
I was going to say, there's probably a lot of modern artists that don't appreciate the amount of work that went into to that, and myself included. But so for your career, Fred, was it? And I'm going to bring my brother-in-law Nolan in a second. He's sitting right here, and he's ready to ask you some questions. But when you started out, was the intent to play music that families could appreciate? I mean, is that where you wanted to go initially, or did that find you?
Well, in the beginning, I started performing professionally in 1972, and I was playing lounges and bars, and just gaining my chops of what it is to be in front of an audience. And of course, I brought my music from the '60s, those great folk songs from Blowing in the Wind to Gordon Lightfoot and Joni Mitchell, and all of the performers who were so iconic, for the '60s generation. And then as things progressed, I connected with some bands in the '70s, and then things started moving toward working with families. Family entertaining through my then partner, who was a choreographer, and she had a dance company, and we would write songs and choreograph things for school performances, and that led into the first record. So I'd always worked with children and special needs kids at university, and that time, and music was always part of it, but even in the '70s, I didn't know what direction it would ultimately go. I thought I might be a professional actor for a long time, mm-hmm. and took theater training. And so it's like any career, you cover as many bases as you can, and then things start to fall into place, and you say, "Oh yeah, that feels good." Performing for families feels really good, because I've always believed in the power of music to make a difference, mm-hmm. in the life of a child. So, carrying that forward into recordings, and then Fred Penner's Place, the TV series, and everything is sort of spawned from that.
Well, I tell you what, as a parent myself now of a 4-year-old and an almost 2-year-old, it is rare to have entertainment that can be enjoyed by both outside of, Mickey Mouse animated show or whatever. And you have, you're way more tolerable, quite honestly, because you're such a gifted player. So I appreciate that. And
thank you.
And you've impacted so many people. My brother-in-law Nolan is sitting right here, and he has some questions for you. Nolan, you want to say hi to Fred?
Hi, Fred.
Hey, Nolan, how are you?
Good. What is your favorite song that you sang before?
I have to tell you, my favorite song to perform is "The Cat Came Back."
Really?
It's just one of those songs that has so much energy and storytelling and fun to it, and the audience. That's the number one request that people have for me is "Sing the Cat Came Back."
Well, it's a good one, that's for sure. Nolan has a couple more for you. What do you got, buddy?
When did you start playing guitar?
Ooh, that's a good question. I started playing guitar when I was 15 years old. Before that,
That's good.
we didn't have guitars at my home when I was growing up, but we had a piano. So I learned how to work piano and chord organ, and music was always part of my life. But I didn't start playing guitar until I was 15.
What is your favorite children's story?
Oh, that's a great question, Nolan. My favorite children's story. I really love The Ugly Duckling. It's a Hans Christian Andersen story.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a beautiful song that I actually did record about that called The Ugly Duckling. And it's just do you know that story, Nolan?
Do you know The Ugly Duckling, Nolan?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great story, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's
it's a favorite story because there's so many connections there with a child, with somebody growing up and thinking they're a little bit different, and then discovering that they're not an ugly duckling, but they're a beautiful swan.
No, and it really is a story that can resonate with generations. Fred Nolan has one more for you, and
sure,
and I like this one. So let's do that one right there, Nolan.
What was the first song you wrote?
Oh, there's a dandy question. The first song I wrote was called Andy, and it was about a man who I met when I was playing a bar in Ontario, and he came up to me and tried to give me money for playing songs for him and the audience, and so he wasn't a very happy man, and so I felt compassion, and I felt a little bit sorry for him in the world that he was at. So I wrote a song for him.
Such a nice thing to be able to do for someone, and I just again, Fred, the work that you've done and continue to do. I'm really excited to get a hold of the new album. By the way, any idea for a release date yet?
Yeah, we're looking at the spring of next year, 2017.
Wow, excellent.
I mean, keep in touch around that time. I'd be happy to send you a copy and maintain some connection with Iowa. I don't think I've ever played down there, and I'd love to do something in that part of the world.
Well, I tell you what, it would be greatly appreciated, and I want to say thanks for your time. And Nolan, you want to say thanks to Fred?
Thank you, Fred Penner.
Hey, Nolan, it's a pleasure to meet you. I hope to meet you in person one day.
Wow.
You too.
That's fantastic. Well, listen, the website is fredpenner.com, and we're excited to get the new record in the spring of 2017. Sir, thank you for the time. I hope the mixing of the record goes well and continued success, and thanks for bringing joy to children and families everywhere.
You are too kind, Tony. Thank you so much. Thanks, Nolan.
We'll talk to you soon, Fred.
I hope so.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.